Individually and corporately, people face choices. How do we discern what choices are best and organize our actions? Joshua and the people of Israel chose to honor a covenant with God, obeying God's instructions perfectly. The Israelites have successfully and miraculously crossed the Jordan and are now set to possess the land. The news of this and other acts of God spread all around the regions of Canaan, and their inhabitants are afraid of the Israelites. The Lord appears to Joshua in the form of a man set for battle and instructs him on how to go about possessing the land. The first battle would be against Jericho, which is the first city to the west of the Jordan. And that brings us to our key verse for today, which reads, "But the Lord said to Joshua, I have given you Jericho, its king, and all its strong warriors." Joshua chapter 6, verse 2. Joshua seems to be alone near Jericho when confronted with the messenger from God. Because the man has a drawn sword in his hand, Joshua asks if he is friend or foe. Joshua, remembered primarily as the military leader of Israel after Moses' death, and as the military leader, he is vigilant to protect his people from this strange messenger if need be. Even though Joshua asks an either-or question, the man answers nay. God is not embarrassed to let us know that our entire paradigm or way of thinking about the world is wrong. The first verse of this chapter describes the seemingly hopeless and almost impossible situation that confronts the Israelites as they approach Jericho. This difficulty is much like other obstacles they have overcome along the way, such as crossing the Red Sea and the Jordan River. The difference in this case is that the city has prepared for war by fortifying their city walls. As Joshua is gazing at this impenetrable wall, the Lord appears in military regalia and speaks to him. The Lord assures Joshua that he has given him the city of Jericho. "See," the Lord said, "I have given into your hand Jericho, with their king and their army." The language here indicates a completed action. In other words, the Lord seems to say to Joshua, there is no cause for alarm or worry. I have already won the battle for you. I have already handed the land over to you as I have promised. On this eventful day, the people circle the city just as they have been doing for the past 6 days, silently, with 7 priests carrying ram's horns, leading the way, followed by those carrying the Ark of the Covenant, and the soldiers, and then the people. Each march must be completely around the city. To do that 7 times on the last day, and then march in to capture the city afterward, would take hard work and faith. To the Israelites as well, this method looks very strange and foolish, but they act in strict obedience to the Lord, who uses the things that seem foolish to the world to put to shame the wise, and the weak things to defeat the mighty. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27 and 28. Scholars have long sought physical reasons for the fall of Jericho. Some believe the walls lowered into the ground like an elevator, allowing Israel to enter the city by walking across the tops of the wall. Others believe the Lord might have used an earthquake to bring about his purpose. Still others think the trampling and vibrations might have weakened the walls, causing them to tumble. No matter how the incident is interpreted, the fall of Jericho's walls served to demonstrate God's power over nature. So here's our lesson. Miraculous events such as the fall of the wall at Jericho are sometimes difficult for modern-day readers to believe, but to our forebearers, the fall of this wall at Jericho indicated a stronghold of faith. Many black church spirituals tell the story of God's assurance of victory in a battle against the enemies of his people. It's critical to always remember that God is a God of deliverance and power. So let's look at our own lives. Are we taking time to know God now, far in advance of our troubles? Do we take time to praise him during the day, despite what is happening in our life? Let's decide today that we are going to follow God no matter where God leads and how impossible it may seem to us. And as we open our heart to him, let's praise him for answered prayers.